$51. You each should have some information about what those vendors were and the amounts as well. At this point in time, I didn't have an itemized list of what each of these were, or quotes or bids. So with that, I'll open it up to the council for discussion and whether we feel comfortable taking a vote on this today, or if this is something we'll need more information before taking a vote on. I did speak with Kyra a few moments ago, and there are letters for most of those that she can scan in and send to you in advance of another meeting.
So what was your total that's unobligated at this time of the ARP funds?
I'm not sure on that total bid. Kyra, do you have that?
Well, we've got this ARP spreadsheet, and of course, a lot of them I know about, and we've got the ones, got amounts obligated, and I'm looking, is there another sheet?
No, that's it.
$399,590.53.
It's how much?
$399,590.53.
So that one.
Which takes out the ambulances and I think I included a little bit of the HVAC. I'm not sure when the rest of those will come due.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, what about that? So basically, when that's spent, it's just what's obligated. Okay.
What's that Tate Wilson for, is on there? Tate Wilson.
Tate Wilson was the engineering group that done the air conditioning, the engineer. We done it without a construction manager. They're actually the ones that's overseeing the project.
With the unobligated funds, has the ARP committee and commissioners considered having a set aside for the ready projects that will be coming from the county, like the airport or some of the other projects that are within the RDA, the ready program?
Could I ask you to repeat that?
Have you all considered, the commissioners and the ARP committee considered having set aside, or, do any of these amounts include any of the projects that were submitted for the ready program?
I haven't heard no projects you've come up with.
Well, the airport's one of the projects, and the city of Salem has a couple too, but the airport's in there.
Is that anything else besides that?
We have all that information.
Besides the first time, have you guys come back on the airport?
You looking at me?
Yeah.
What's the question?
Have you come back to the ARP, or the ARP committee or anything, any additional besides the original?
No, the original request is still out
I
there.
mean, that's the same one we've got.
Yeah, but, that's gonna get refined, I think, based on
So we really
what
have
happened to
to
the FAA.
appropriate everything that's obligated.
There's a,
Yeah, okay.
the bipartisan infrastructure bill is out there for the FAA.
But the original time, and nothing's been added to that.
Nothing's been added to that original list I handed you.
Okay.
Well, excuse me, did you also say in those requests that you were waiting on maybe grants from the FAA and?
None of the items in that list are eligible for FAA funding. Okay, for FAA grant funding. items that are needed to help out the airport. But they're not eligible for our discretionary or supplemental funding from the FAA.
Anything else besides that?
I know the city has some projects, like the Lake Salindo project, turning it, more into like recreational, and then they had a housing project too, and that might have been some infrastructure. Not saying that the county would be expected to utilize its ARP funds for that, but it is something that when they're ready, I think, John, you have a project sheet from River Hills that you're working through right now with the project and writing out where the source of funds are going to come from, how they're going to get spent. So I think as you're looking at for ARP, where is this money going to go, it's important to think about where the match was going to come from locally for those projects.
The ready grant, ready funds, through the RDA are going to be at 20%. The grant will be 20%. You gotta have 20% local, then you gotta come up with 60% either through other grants or other local funding or even private funding.
So do you have a set number on that?
That would come from John, I would think, in terms of what you're looking for a match.
Total currently is about 800,000. If you put all the projects together. But there's 11 different pieces of that request. Okay.
Okay.
That might be good to talk about tonight at the ARP meeting.
You gonna be there?
I plan to be there.
Okay.
What?
RDA meeting tonight?
ARP.
Or?
So is it my understanding that on our original first 2.7, which we're due to get the other couple of months down the road here, for the last half of the ARP funds, that everything that's on this list has either been paid out or obligated, and in order to spend what's obligated, we now for this year need to reappropriate the rest of those original ARP funds in order to be able to spend them on these obligated projects. Is that correct? Then I'm going to make the motion that we appropriate the funds that it takes to fulfill the commitments that have already made through obligations, which will pretty well wipe out your 2.7, I think, your original 2.7.
Yes.
But we've already obligated that for what's on this list. So the question would be for me, if anybody has any questions about what's been obligated versus what we want to do, because if not, it's already been through your ARP board in order to be obligated, correct? Okay. So I'm gonna make that motion that we appropriate the funds, the existing funds, to finish out your obligations that's been approved. That's my motion.
I'll second that.
We have a motion on the floor and a second by Bubba. Any further discussion? I'll add, just from my own vantage point, I want to see the list of where these funds are going, whether that be quotes or letters, something in writing that's talking about where these particular funds are going and what, some sort of justification for those. So I would like more information before taking a vote on that, personally.
You can gather that at every ARP meeting.
Excuse me just a minute. These funds have already been earmarked for projects. We have 5 members of the community who are devoting and giving up of their own time without pay. They are Brock Bush, Anita Temple, Sherry Clem, Dr. Mark Manship, and former Councilman David Hoare. back in early spring last year, the three of us decided that this was too big of an undertaking for 3 commissioners. And we wanted to delegate some authority and some guidance with people who what we would consider are pillars of the community. They have done an exemplary job of getting us through this. Now, a lot of people think, well, you know, when the government hands out money, boy, that's great. Well, let me tell you, it's not all great. Now, we have not had people beating our doors down wanting this money for one reason or the other. We have had several requests. We initially focused on infrastructure, water improvements, and we're working through some of the other issues, nonprofits and things. We met twice a month up until about December, from May to December. We have got down to once a month. We're meeting every first Tuesday at 6 p.m. These meetings have been going on for a year. And why in the world would someone explain to me there has been very few people other than the 3 of us and these 2 ladies over here who have been in attendance, and now when it comes down to crunch time, when we've already earmarked this money, we're questioning whether you should approve it or not. Last minute. Now, if you doubt the judgment of the 5 people on that ARP board, and if you doubt the judgment of us, then I would suggest that some of you better inform yourselves and attend some of the ARP meetings. They put their time in with no pay. We do get paid. We're there. We've been at every meeting, 3 of us, and these ladies, trying to muddle through this and do what is best for our county. So this last minute stuff, you know, we're expected to suffer and wait because of some others' inability to plan.
I believe there's a motion on the floor. We need to vote. He made the motion, I second. It's time to vote.
Thank you.
Commissioner, you and I will say before calling for the vote, that is something that it should be expected to send that sort of information to the council before the body will be approving this. With that, I will call for a vote. All of those in favor, raise your right hand. Motion carries.